Every single one of us wakes up with the same 24 hours, yet some people seem unstoppable. They rise higher, they achieve more, they command respect wherever they go. And then there are others, stuck, frustrated, running in circles, watching their lives pass by. Have you ever asked yourself what separates those who break barriers from those who stay trapped behind them? It's not luck, it's not talent, it's not even opportunity, it's habits. Those tiny, consistent choices you make every single day when no one is watching. Think about it. A boxer doesn't win the championship in the ring. He wins it in the lonely hours of training. A leader doesn't command respect the day she's given authority. She built it long before through the discipline of her daily actions. The habits you live by will either build you into a person no obstacle can stop or keep you small, ordinary, forgettable. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. Success doesn't come from one massive breakthrough. It comes from repetition, from the ordinary moments you choose to push when others stay comfortable, to learn when others scroll, to focus when others waste time. These choices, multiplied day after day, become your identity. They become the difference between a life that inspires and a life that quietly disappears. Now I want you to imagine yourself 1 year from today. Picture two versions of you. The first one, still making excuses, still saying tomorrow, still giving in to distraction. Where does that version end up? Stuck in the same place, frustrated, wondering why nothing ever changes. The second version, you, but with unstoppable habits. You wake up with purpose, you sharpen your mind, you fuel your body, you protect your time, and you grow every single day. Where does that version end up? Unrecognizable, powerful, unstoppable. The choice between those two versions is not decided by fate. It's not decided by chance. It's decided by habits. The ones you practice in silence, in discipline, in consistency. Habits are the invisible architecture of your future. And the people who look unstoppable, they're not superhuman. They've just built systems that don't allow them to lose. This is where the game changes. Because once you understand that your destiny is hidden in your daily choices, you stop waiting for motivation and you start relying on discipline. You stop chasing quick wins and you start mastering small, deliberate actions. You stop telling yourself stories and you start rewriting your future with evidence of consistency. And here's what makes this even more powerful. The world doesn't respect words. It respects results. No one will clap for your intentions. But when you show up day after day, when you develop habits that make you sharper, stronger, more focused, people notice. Opportunities appear. Respect grows. And you find yourself becoming the person everyone else looks at and thinks, how are they doing this? How are they unstoppable? You see, it's not about being the smartest, the fastest, or the strongest. It's about building an unshakable foundation brick by brick, habit by habit, until nothing can break you. The question is, are you ready to pay that price? Are you ready to transform your ordinary days into extraordinary momentum? Because once you commit, once you adopt these daily habits, you don't just change your routine, you change your entire life. Now, let's step into those habits, because the 7 daily practices I'm about to share with you will not only make you unstoppable, they will make you a force people cannot ignore. Think of the most successful people you know or the ones you admire from a distance. They may look extraordinary, but when you peel back the curtain, you'll find something very simple, a routine that never fails them. It's not the glamorous moments on stage, not the big promotion, not the applause or recognition. What makes them unstoppable is the foundation they lay every single day through the habits that shape their lives. Routine is where greatness is born. It's the structure that protects you from chaos. The invisible discipline that builds power when no one is watching. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Motivation will not save you. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you'll feel ready to conquer the world, and other days you'll want to pull the blanket over your head and hide from it. If your success depends on motivation, you'll fail. But if your success depends on routine, if you have non-negotiable habits built into your day, you'll win regardless of how you feel. That's what separates the unstoppable from the average. Think about a building. The taller it is, the deeper the foundation has to go. You cannot build a skyscraper on weak soil. In the same way, you cannot build an unstoppable life on shaky, inconsistent habits. Routine is your foundation. Without it, you'll crumble under pressure. With it, you become unshakable. Now, let's be honest. Routine doesn't sound exciting. People resist it because it feels restrictive. But that's the mistake. Routine doesn't trap you. It frees you. It eliminates decision fatigue. It saves your mental energy. And it allows you to focus on what truly matters. The truth is, you already live by routines, whether you realize it or not. The question is, are those routines building you or breaking you? Are they propelling you forward or silently holding you back? Let's break this down. Waking up early with intention is a habit. Scrolling through your phone the moment you open your eyes is also a habit. Exercising daily is a habit. Hitting the snooze button 5 times is also a habit. Reading something that sharpens your mind is a habit. Numbing yourself with endless entertainment is a habit too. The difference is that one set of habits builds momentum and strength, while the other set slowly eats away at your potential. Your routine is either a ladder or a cage. It either lifts you higher or locks you in place. The great irony is that most people know what they need to do. They know they should wake up earlier, eat healthier, move their body, read more, focus better, but they let their lives be dictated by impulse instead of discipline. And here's where the unstoppable person, they don't wait for the perfect conditions. They don't wait to feel like it. They build a routine that keeps them on track no matter what. Rain or shine, tired or energized, good day or bad day. They execute. And over time, those small repetitive actions turn into unstoppable momentum. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone who wakes up every morning and writes down their top 3 priorities for the day. Just 3. Then they attack them with focus before anything else distracts them. Do you know what happens after 1 year of this routine? They've accomplished more than most people do in 5 years. Why? Because they weren't bouncing around reacting to life. They had a system, a routine that created clarity and direction. Now, contrast that with someone who wakes up late, checks their phone first thing, reacts to emails and messages, lets the day pull them in every direction. At the end of the day, they're exhausted, but can't even tell you what they accomplished. Multiply that by months, by years, and you'll see why some people are powerful and others feel powerless. The difference is not talent, it's routine. Here's another truth. Routine is not about perfection. You don't have to live like a machine. It's about consistency. It's about doing what matters most over and over until it becomes part of who you are. At first, it takes effort, but soon it becomes automatic. And once it becomes automatic, it doesn't drain you anymore. It fuels you. That's when routine turns into identity. You no longer try to be disciplined. You are disciplined. You no longer try to be focused. You are focused. That's when you become unstoppable. Think of athletes. They don't train once in a while when they feel like it. They train daily, religiously, even when it hurts, even when it's boring. Why? Because they know their craft is built in those moments of repetition. Success is never built on what you do occasionally. It's built on what you do consistently. And consistency only exists when routine exists. The beauty of routine is that it compounds. A 1% improvement each day doesn't look like much in the beginning. But over a year, over 5 years, that 1% daily effort can transform you into someone unrecognizable. The person who started timid, distracted, unsure of themselves becomes someone powerful, disciplined, respected, all because of a foundation of habits that never failed them. The reality is this. Your future is not decided by your dreams. It's decided by your daily disciplines. You can dream of greatness, you can visualize success, but unless you anchor those dreams in a routine that keeps you moving forward, they will stay fantasies. Dreams without routines are empty promises you make to yourself. Dreams tied to routines, they're inevitable. So ask yourself, what foundation are you building right now? Are your days designed to create the person you want to become, or are they designed by impulse, distraction, and reaction? Because here's the hard truth. You don't get to choose your future. You get to choose your habits, and your habits will decide your future for you. If you want to be unstoppable, stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for inspiration. Build the foundation. Build the routine. Because once you have it, no storm, no setback, no distraction will be able to knock you off course. And that Right there is the first step to greatness. If you want to know why some people rise above every obstacle, while others collapse under pressure, the answer is this: mental discipline. The battle of life is not one in the external world. It's one inside your mind. You can have talent, resources, opportunities, and even support from others. But if your mind is undisciplined, you will sabotage yourself before the world even has a chance to. Mental discipline is not about thinking positive all the time, and it's not about ignoring problems. It's about mastering your inner world so that nothing outside of you can break you. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. What you think, you eventually believe. What you believe, you eventually act on. And what you act on, you eventually become. That's why people with uncontrolled thoughts live chaotic lives. Their minds are scattered, so their actions are scattered. They're constantly distracted, constantly reacting, constantly pulled in 10 different directions. Without mental discipline, they can't focus, they can't stay consistent, and they can't withstand challenges. But when you build discipline inside your mind, you become unshakable. You develop clarity, focus, and resilience that no external force can take from you. Mental discipline starts with awareness. Most people live in autopilot mode. They think thousands of thoughts a day but never stop to examine them. Their minds run wild like an untamed animal, dragging them into worry, fear, doubt, and insecurity. Discipline means you take back control. You step into the driver's seat of your mind and you decide what thoughts get your attention and which ones don't. It means you stop feeding the lies your fear whispers, and you start feeding the truth of your potential. It means you recognize when your mind is trying to sabotage you and you redirect it towards something productive. Let's break this down into real-life terms. Imagine two people face the same challenge. One loses their job unexpectedly. Their undisciplined mind immediately spirals. I'm a failure. I'll never find another job. Everything is over. They drown in fear. And because they believe the worst, they stop taking action. Now imagine the other person with a disciplined mind. They lose their job too, but their first thought is, this is hard, but I will find a way. This is my chance to grow, to adapt, to create something new. Their disciplined mind doesn't deny the difficulty, but it refuses to stay stuck in fear. Instead, it chooses a solution-focused perspective, and that fuels action. Same problem, two different outcomes, all because of mental discipline. Here's the reality: you will never escape challenges. Life will test you, betray you, disappoint you, break you down. But if your mind is disciplined, none of those storms can destroy you. You will feel the pain, yes. You will face the difficulty, yes. But you will not be paralyzed by it. You'll keep moving forward, step by step, because your mind is trained to stay steady under pressure. That's the difference between someone who quits and someone who becomes unstoppable. Now, how do you actually build this kind of discipline? It doesn't happen overnight. Just like your body becomes strong with training, your mind becomes strong with daily practice. One of the most powerful ways is by mastering your focus. Every day, distractions fight for your attention: social media, gossip, negativity, endless noise. If you allow your mind to be hijacked by every distraction, you'll never build strength. Discipline means choosing where your attention goes. It means setting boundaries on your time, your energy, your mental space. It means saying no to the meaningless so you can focus on the meaningful. Another way is through controlling your emotional responses. Mental discipline is directly tied to emotional control. When you react impulsively to every emotion, anger, fear, insecurity, you give your power away. But when your mind is disciplined, you create space between the emotion and the reaction. You learn to pause, to breathe, to think before you act. That pause is the sign of mastery. It's what allows you to stay calm in chaos, to remain strategic when others are losing their heads. That is the kind of presence people respect and follow. Let's not forget resilience. Discipline also means training your mind to push through discomfort. Too many people quit when things get hard because their minds tell them, this is too much, I can't do it. But an unstoppable mind has been trained to endure. It sees challenges not as barriers but as opportunities to grow stronger. It treats obstacles as a gym for the soul. Each difficulty is a weight you lift, building mental muscle that makes you more powerful than before. And here's something most people overlook: Mental discipline requires self-talk that aligns with your goals. Your words to yourself matter more than anything else. If your inner voice is constantly criticizing you, doubting you, belittling you, how can you expect to move with confidence? But if your inner voice is discipline, if it speaks strength, focus, courage, you'll walk into every situation with power. This isn't about empty affirmations. It's about rewiring your mind to tell the truth about who you are and what you're capable of, even when fear screams otherwise. Think about the greatest leaders in history, the ones who inspired nations, led revolutions, or created groundbreaking change. Do you think they never felt fear? Of course they did. But their mental discipline allowed them to master that fear. They felt it, but they didn't obey it. They chose courage over panic, focus over chaos, discipline over despair. And that's exactly what you can train yourself to do every single day. Here's the hard truth. Your greatest enemy is not the competition, not the obstacles, not the doubters. Your greatest enemy is your undisciplined mind. If you cannot master your inner world, the outer world will always defeat you. But once you conquer your thoughts, once you build discipline into the very fabric of your mind, you become unstoppable. You will no longer be ruled by fear, distraction, or doubt. You will rule over them. So ask yourself right now, are you in control of your mind, or is your mind in control of you? Because the answer to that question will decide whether you stay average or become unstoppable. Discipline your inner world, and you will change your outer world. Train your thoughts, and you will transform your life. That's the power of mental discipline. It's the quiet strength that makes everything else possible. Your body is the vessel through which your mind and spirit move in this world. You can have the sharpest mind, the clearest vision, and the deepest ambition, but if your body cannot carry you through the demands of life, you will always fall short. Physical discipline is not just about fitness, muscles, or appearance. It is about commanding energy, presence, and strength that fuels every aspect of your life. Without discipline in the body, the mind grows sluggish, the emotions become harder to manage, and opportunities slip away. When your body is weak, your presence is diminished. But when your body is strong, you command respect without even saying a word. Physical discipline begins with how you treat your body every single day. Think about it, your body is the only home you will live in for your entire life. Yet most people neglect it. They abuse it with poor diet, lack of sleep, inactivity, and constant stress. They expect it to perform at high levels while giving it the bare minimum. And then they wonder why they're tired all the time, why they can't focus, why they lack confidence, and why they struggle with discipline in every other area. The truth is, your physical state directly influences your mental and emotional state. If you feel exhausted and unhealthy, you cannot think clearly or show up powerfully in life. That's why physical discipline is non-negotiable for anyone who wants to become unstoppable. One of the greatest forms of discipline you can practice is training your body. Exercise is not just about building a strong physique, it's about building a strong character. Every time you push yourself physically, you are proving to yourself that you can endure discomfort and overcome resistance. You are training your willpower as much as your muscles. When you choose to run the extra mile, lift the extra weight, or push through when your body says stop, you are building grit, and that grit translates into every other area of life. If you can discipline your body to show up every day and push beyond its comfort zone, you can discipline your mind to do the same. There is also a deeper psychological layer to physical discipline. The way you carry yourself physically communicates to the world. How you see yourself. Posture, energy, and presence are powerful, non-verbal signals. A disciplined body that stands tall, moves with purpose, and radiates vitality immediately commands attention. People can sense strength and discipline even without words. When you walk into a room with that kind of presence, others notice. You don't have to announce your worth. They feel it. On the other hand, when your body is neglected, when you move sluggishly or carry yourself without energy, you unintentionally communicate weakness. And weakness invites disrespect. But physical discipline is not only about workouts and posture, it's also about what you put into your body. Nutrition is fuel. Yet many people treat food like entertainment rather than energy. Every time you choose junk food over nourishment, you are choosing short-term pleasure over long-term vitality. Discipline means respecting your body enough to give it what it needs, not just what it craves. That doesn't mean you can never indulge. It means you don't let your impulses control you. Because when you conquer the impulses of your body, you strengthen the power of your mind. Each discipline choice builds self-mastery. Sleep is another underestimated pillar of physical discipline. In a world that glorifies hustle and exhaustion, people wear lack of sleep like a badge of honor. But discipline is not about burning yourself out. It's about managing your energy so you can perform at your peak. Rest is not weakness. It's preparation. A disciplined person knows when to push hard and when to recover. Just as muscles need rest to grow, your mind and body need recovery to stay sharp. Ignoring this truth is a form of self-sabotage. Real discipline means respecting your body's needs, not abusing them in the name of productivity. There is also an emotional benefit to physical discipline. When you care for your body, when you push it and nourish it, you feel confident. That confidence radiates in your presence and your energy and how you face challenges. On the other hand, neglect breeds insecurity. If you don't feel good in your own skin, it shows. Physical discipline removes that barrier. It gives you the internal pride of knowing you've done the work to build strength, and that pride shows up in how you carry yourself. And let's be real, life will test you physically. Stress, long days, unexpected crises, responsibilities that demand stamina and resilience. If your body isn't disciplined, you will break under the weight of those demands. But when you've trained your body, when you've built endurance, strength, and resilience, you can handle far more than most people. Your physical discipline becomes your armor in the battlefield of life. Here's the bigger truth. Physical discipline is inseparable from all other forms of discipline. When you command your body, you command your mind. When you control your impulses with food, sleep, and exercise, you develop the same control in business, relationships, and personal growth. The body is the foundation. Neglect it, and every other area weakens. Strengthen it, and every other area rises with it. Think of it this way. A warrior who cannot endure physically is not truly a warrior. A leader who lacks energy cannot inspire others. A visionary who lacks stamina cannot sustain their vision. If you want to be unstoppable, you must treat your body as a sacred responsibility. Your discipline in how you move, eat, sleep, and recover will determine not only how long you live, but how powerfully you live. So ask yourself, do you command your body or does your body command you? Do you move with energy and presence that demands respect? Or do you drag yourself through each day, drained and distracted? The answer will reveal the truth about your discipline. When you master your physical discipline, you don't just gain strength. You gain energy that fuels ambition, presence that commands respect, and resilience that carries you through every battle. That is the power of commanding your body. It becomes the foundation upon which an unstoppable life is built. Focus is the sharpest weapon you can carry in life. It is the difference between people who move forward with purpose and those who spend years running in circles. If you want to be unstoppable, you must develop ruthless focus and unshakable ability to protect your time, your energy, and your attention from anything that doesn't serve your mission. The truth is, the world is designed to steal your focus. Notifications, distractions, people pulling at you, opportunities that aren't really opportunities, and endless noise all compete for your attention. And if you allow yourself to be pulled in every direction, you will never make progress in the one direction that matters. Discipline is not just about saying yes to the right things, it's about having the courage and clarity to say no to everything else. Think about how valuable your time really is. Every day you are given 24 hours, and once it is gone, it never returns. You can make money back, you can regain energy through rest, but you will never get back time wasted. And yet most people treat their time like it's infinite. They give it away carelessly to people, to distractions, to meaningless activities, as if they have an endless supply. But the unstoppable understand this truth. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever own. To protect it, you must guard your focus as if your future depends on it, because it does. Ruthless focus means cutting out the unnecessary, even when it feels uncomfortable. Many people fail because they are too afraid to disappoint others. They say yes when they want to say no. They allow other people's demands to dictate their schedule. They give their energy to people who drain them instead of protecting it for what matters. If you cannot say no, you cannot succeed. Success requires sacrifice, and that sacrifice is often comfort, approval, and short-term pleasure. To be unstoppable, you must prioritize your mission over momentary distractions. You cannot be everything for everyone. You must choose to be focused on what matters most for you. This doesn't mean you cut people off, cold, or live selfishly. It means you recognize the difference between support and distraction. People who truly value you will respect your boundaries. Those who resist them are often the very people keeping you from your potential. Ruthless focus forces you to make tough decisions about who and what deserves space in your life. And the hard truth is, not everyone deserves access to you. You are not obligated to hand out your energy freely. The most successful people are not those who are available to everyone. They are the ones who protect their time like gold. Ruthless focus also requires clarity of vision. You cannot protect your time and energy if you don't know where they should go. Too many people chase everything and achieve nothing. They jump from one goal to another, never staying long enough to master anything. But when you know what you want deeply, specifically, you can align every choice with that vision. That clarity makes decisions simple. If something moves you closer to your goal, it earns your attention. If it doesn't, it gets cut. Focus becomes ruthless not because you are cold or harsh, but because you understand the cost of scattering your energy. Every distraction is a delay. Every unnecessary commitment is a step away from your potential. Energy is another piece of the puzzle. Your time is fixed, but your energy is not. And too many people waste energy on things that drain them. Worry, gossip, meaningless arguments, toxic environments, all of these steal energy that could be used to build your future. Ruthless focus means choosing carefully not just where your time goes, but where your emotional and mental energy flows. Protecting your peace is part of protecting your focus. If you let negativity consume you, you are giving away your power. And nothing makes you weaker than constantly pouring energy into battles that don't matter. Discipline is what strengthens your focus. It is not enough to wish for focus. You must train it. That means setting boundaries with your phone, creating environments free of distraction, and practicing deep work. It means scheduling time for what matters and refusing to break that commitment, even for things that seem urgent but are not important. Focus grows when you make it a habit. The more you practice shutting out distractions, the stronger your ability becomes to zero in on what matters. Eventually, it becomes second nature. You no longer waste time on things beneath your mission. Understand this. Every great achievement in history was built on ruthless focus. Leaders, warriors, innovators, they all shared this ability to protect their time and energy for what truly mattered. They were not scattered. They were not endlessly distracted. They did not chase every shiny object or give in to every demand. They committed themselves fully to their purpose and defended it against all intrusions. That is why their work endures. Your life will not be defined by what you say yes to, but by what you refuse to allow in. The distractions you cut, the boundaries you set, and the energy you protect will create the space you need to rise. Ruthless focus is not easy. People will misunderstand you. Some will be offended. Others will try to guilt you into breaking your discipline. But in the end, the results will speak louder than any explanation you could give. The life you build will make clear why your focus had to be so sharp, so guarded, so uncompromising. So ask yourself this: how much of your time is stolen daily by things that don't matter? How much of your energy is wasted on people or problems that add no value to your life? Imagine what would happen if every ounce of that time and energy was redirected into your vision, your growth, your future. Imagine the power you would unleash. That is the transformation ruthless focus brings. When you learn to protect your time and energy, you are no longer at the mercy of the world. You become the architect of your own destiny. That is what makes you unstoppable. Growth is not an accident. It does not happen just because you wish for it, or because time passes, or because you want life to be better. Growth is a decision. It is an attitude. It is a discipline. To be unstoppable, you must commit yourself to relentless growth, an unwavering drive to never settle, to never stagnate, and to constantly level up no matter how far you've come. The reason most people remain stuck is not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunities. It's because they settle, they reach a certain level of comfort, and decide it's good enough. They hit a milestone and stop pushing. They allow themselves to get complacent because growth feels uncomfortable. But here's the truth. The moment you stop growing, you start declining. There is no neutral. Life is always moving forward. And if you're not growing, you are falling behind. Relentless growth means you refuse to stay the same. It means that even when you achieve something great, you immediately ask yourself, what's next? How can I be better? Growth is not about comparing yourself to others. It is about comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. It's about being honest enough to admit where you can improve, courageous enough to chase that improvement, and disciplined enough to do it every single day. This mindset turns life into a constant evolution. You are never finished. You are never complete. You are always becoming. And when you live this way, you not only build momentum, you create a life that feels alive. A relentless growth requires humility. You must be willing to acknowledge that you don't know everything, that there is always more to learn, and that there will always be someone better, faster, or smarter than you. Instead of being threatened by that, you use it as fuel. You let it inspire you. You see others not as competition, but as proof of what is possible. And when you carry that humility, you open yourself to new lessons, new opportunities, and new transformations. Arrogance closes the door to growth. Humility kicks it wide open. Growth also requires discomfort. You cannot expand inside your comfort zone. Every breakthrough in your life has come from stepping into uncertainty, taking a risk, or doing something you didn't feel ready for. Growth hurts. It stretches you. It challenges you. It breaks you out of old habits and forces you to adopt new ones. And that pain is the very evidence that you are moving forward. If you are comfortable all the time, you are not growing. If you want to be unstoppable, you must learn to chase discomfort. You must actively seek out challenges that stretch you, environments that test you, and opportunities that demand the next level of you. Relentless growth is also about refusing to cling to old versions of yourself. Too many people stay trapped because they keep repeating who they used to be. They let their past define them instead of their potential. But if you are truly committed to growth, you must be willing to let go of old identities, old habits, and even old relationships that no longer align with where you are going. Growth requires shedding. Just as a snake sheds its skin, you must release the old to step into the new. The more you cling to who you were, the harder it will be to become who you're meant to be. To embody relentless growth, you must create a system of constant learning. Read daily. Surround yourself with people who inspire you. Seek mentors, coaches, and voices that challenge your perspective. Take notes. Ask questions. And most importantly, apply what you learn. Knowledge without action is wasted. Growth happens when you take new insights and turn them into new habits, new behaviors, and new results. Consistency is the engine of growth. It's not about doing one big thing once. It's about showing up again and again. It's about daily effort, daily discipline, daily repetition of small actions that compound into massive transformation over time. Growth doesn't happen in a moment. It happens in thousands of small choices stacked on top of each other. If you keep choosing growth every day, eventually you will look back and realize you have become unrecognizable compared to who you once were. Relentless growth also demands that you set higher standards for yourself. You cannot grow if you keep lowering the bar to make life easier. You must expect more of yourself, demand more of yourself, and hold yourself accountable when you fall short. The person who demands excellence from themselves will always grow, because excellence forces you to stretch beyond comfort. When you stop expecting more of yourself, you stop evolving. There will always be resistance. People around you may not understand your hunger for growth. They may call you obsessive, too intense, or hard to please. That's because most people settle, and when you refuse to settle, it makes them uncomfortable. But their discomfort is not your problem. Your responsibility is to yourself, your future, and the legacy you want to build. Growth is lonely at times. but it is also the path to freedom, fulfillment, and unstoppable strength. Ask yourself, are you improving every day, or are you repeating the same day over and over again? Do you demand progress, or do you allow yourself to remain the same? If you want to be unstoppable, you must choose growth over comfort, vision over complacency, and discipline over excuses. Relentless growth is not about perfection, it's about direction. As long as you are moving forward, learning, evolving, improving, you are living with purpose. And when you live with purpose, you become unstoppable. Let me close this with absolute clarity. Everything we've talked about, routine, discipline, focus, growth, it all comes down to one truth. You either live life by design or you live it by default. The habits you choose every single day are not just small actions. They are bricks that either build your future or bricks that wall you into mediocrity. If you commit to these habits, not once, not sometimes, but relentlessly, you will become unstoppable. Not because life suddenly gets easy, but because you get stronger. The world respects strength, and strength is built through discipline. Strength is built when you wake up and keep going, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching, even when you don't feel like it. The truth is, most people will never do this. Most people will chase comfort instead of greatness. But you are not most people. If you are here listening, it means something inside of you is demanding more. That voice is your future self calling you forward, daring you to rise, daring you to grow, daring you to become unstoppable. The question is, will you listen? Will you honor that voice, or will you silence it with excuses, with laziness, with fear? The choice is always yours. No one can hand you discipline. No one can hand you focus. No one can hand you greatness. You must claim it. You must earn it. And here's the beauty. The moment you decide to take control, the moment you decide to live by these habits, you separate yourself from the crowd. You stop living small. You stop playing safe. You start living with power, with intention, with unshakable strength. Just remember this, your future is not waiting for you. It is being built right now. Every choice is a vote. Every action is a brick. The person you become tomorrow is being decided by what you do today. So stop waiting, stop delaying, start building, start growing, start moving forward with relentless discipline. Because once you commit, once you live with these habits, nothing and no one can stop you. Not fear, not failure, not rejection, not the opinions of others. You will rise, you will endure, you will win. Be relentless, be disciplined, be unstoppable,